Good. Now, coming up next, we're going to have a group we call the Insider Gang every day, Monday through Friday from 1 o'clock till about 1:30-ish. We have a group that we meet up Zoom, and we share a coffee break with them. We have them coming on. They're going to share some of their favorite tips and techniques with us in just a moment. Now, a couple quick questions. Can you remove part of a history and keep all the edits above it? As of now, no, because the way the history is in order, once you click on a set part and continue to edit, anything from the top will be gone. All right, and the new history, you could have up to 50 stages. All right, so 50 states of history that'll keep you going. Let's see. And let me ask one more question. Yes, keep in mind, this is being recorded, and you'll be able to catch replays of it on YouTube. As of right now, because we're live, you can't replay it. Somebody was asking about that. All right. Well, great. All right. So let's get started. I want to try one thing. Here we are. We have several people joining us. If you want to introduce yourself, we'll start with Wayne. You guys want to
Hello,
share
everybody.
Hello, Wayne.
Working
How
good.
you doing?
Good, good. Thanks. How you doing?
Most of you know who Wayne is. Wayne is the number one, the number one responder on Insiders. And again, he doesn't work for Skylum. He's a member just like you. But once he's on the Insider at Skylum.com, he's one of the people who comments the most and helps out most of the community in there. So thank you, Wayne, for doing that.
You bet.
And we have Thomas here. And actually, Wayne is coming in the States. Where are you located?
I am in Colorado.
And then Thomas, you're coming in
Hello.
from where?
Hello, Vanelli.
Hello. You're calling in from Germany?
Yes, I'm from Germany. I live near Düsseldorf, and I hope someone knows Düsseldorf.
And then we have Malcolm in the house. Hello, Malcolm. If you want to unmute your mic. And we also have Mo. Hello, Mo. If you want to unmute
Vanelli.
your mic. Hello. Do you have your camera on?
Let's see. Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, we're not seeing that, but that's okay right now. All right, so a couple things. You guys, and I chose this group because you guys have been the most faithful every single day, Monday through Friday. There she is. Monday through Friday, you guys show up, rain or shine, and for our coffee breaks. Why do you keep coming back for so many of them? I'll go with you first, Wayne.
Well, number one, it's a wonderful group of people. I've really enjoyed getting to know many of them. There's some absolutely amazing photography that we get to see. And everybody is very helpful. There's a lot of questions asked and a lot of answers given. And it's just truly a great group. It's a lot of fun to be out there.
That's
And
great.
you guys, you, Vanelli, and Angela, I should mention you too as well. And you guys do a great job, and we learn a lot from you. We thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're pushing with our last season and this season, we're close to 400 episodes. So,
Wow.
And again, you guys hung in there. And Thomas, well, let me do this first. Thomas, what's your favorite part of photography?
I'm really interested in sports, but I do several other things. I do nature, I do portraiture, weddings, industrial, black and white. So I'm interested in a lot of things, different things in photography.
And that's a generalist. A generalist is when they're very talented in all different aspects of the photography. We'll go on to Mo.
Good morning, Vanelli.
She's the beauty among all the thorns here.
Oh, I'll get my shovel out right now.
And where are you calling in from, Mo?
I'm in Florida. I'm
Yeah,
on the
whereabouts in
West
Florida?
Coast. You
That's
never
right.
hear of Riverview. It's just below Tampa.
Yep. Yes. And our beaches are nice, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're gorgeous. Great sunsets.
Good. Now, what type of photography are you doing?
Well, I used to do portraiture and weddings and everything else, but I've just done a pivot and now I'm doing nature and landscape. Since the COVID, I don't want anybody in my home studio anymore. So I'm going out and doing photography.
Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, let's do this. Wayne, do you have something to share with us? Do you want to show us one of your favorite edits?
Well, I seem to be having some technical difficulties on my main computer, so I'm actually on a tablet right now. So I'm a little
No
hampered.
problem. Thomas, do you have something you want to show us? One of your sports photos? Can you hear us, Thomas? You have to unmute your mic. Hey, Mo, you may be next.
I didn't know you wanted us to share.
Oh, no problem. You know what? I'll do that with you guys right here. Let me jump right in.
I can show you. Yeah, I can show you an industrial park in Duisburg. I edited
Let's do
with
that.
Sky AI.
All right. So share your screen.
I hope I can do it.
Just click the share screen button at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah,
and,
I did it.
Share your whole desktop.
Do you see your desktop?
Won't work. Sorry about it.
No problem. Yeah, so click the green button, share screen, and then select your desktop. You watch that. What I'll do is I'll do a quick edit. It's okay. I'll do a quick edit. So I'm going to share my screen. So I click the green button and I click screen one. Here's my little godson. All right. And I'll do this for Thomas because we're both sports advocates. So I'm going to come down here to my sports. Oh, I'm sorry, right up here. There we go. All right, so this right here actually made me fall in love with Luminar because when I created this, it took me forever to create this special template. So I'm going to show you the template, and then I'll show you how I created it. So I'm going to come over here, and I made several sport templates. I can go from semi to where I'm going to add the grit look to it, to where I can do a medium grit, and then full-on grit look. There we are. So these are things that I've created for years, since 2012, and each time I try to progress to make it quicker and faster. So I'm going to show you how I actually created this from scratch and then how I saved it, all right? And you'll see how fast that is. So I'm going to come to the edit panel, and under history, I'm just going to go right to the original. There we go. Now, what I love about Luminar is we have all these tools, but we're not tool-centric, we're purpose-centric. So if I'm going to look at the creative tools, I want a dramatic or a grit look. So the tool I'm going to use allows me to do that. Just this one tool, look at this. It automatically adds the old-fashioned clarity. It adds the structure to it. It desaturates the image, and it gives me that base I'm looking for the grit look. Here's before. Look at that. There's after. So I have that set, and this local contrast really makes a huge difference on adding that structure to my image. So I have it set here. Now, the grit look screams for detail. So I'm going to come in and add some detail, not just to his uniform, but also to him. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Now I'm adding detail to it. Now, if you notice, we add dirt during the shoot. And the reason why I did that is I knew that once we start adding detail inside the program, it's going to accentuate that even more. So we have that set. And now I can go on to the portrait side. So this was always one of those areas that eluded me, because some programs were great for what I just did. Others were great for the portrait. Well, now we have it combined. I'm going to zoom out just a little. Add a little face light. And I definitely want those eyes just to pop. So I'm going to enhance the eyes. Put a little lens flare or iris flare under the eyes here. And that right there is great. Now I'm not going to change the skin because the grit is what I'm looking for. So here's before, here's after. Now, I love everything about the image so far, but what I need to do is start sculpturing the light, and I want to draw light to the subject and away from the football and away from his uniform. So let's start with a vignette. Choose my subject. Dial it back a little bit. And notice what that's doing. It's putting the football and the uniform here to a slight shadow, and now my eye is drawn to the subject or to the player. There we have it. And one last thing I want to do is I'm going to go to the structure AI and just bump it up just a little bit. It's not going to affect the skin. I just want it to affect the uniform. Now that we have this set, I can come over here, save it, and then under my templates, we'll come over here, and you'll notice I have a new template saved. And I'm going to rename it, and we'll name this Sports Grit version 6. There we go. Now, earlier people were saying how they love editing. They love editing just as much as they love taking the photos. Well, that's great. And the stuff that I do, unfortunately, I don't have time to spend that much time on each of these images. So now that I have that set here, there's two ways I could add it to an entire set of images. And let me come over here for a moment. I'll do it right to these. I have it right here, coffee break. And I had a group of images I wanted to show you for sports. Wrong one. There we go. I'll stick to this one right here. So now what I want to do is take this look or this template we just created and apply it to this one. Now, since I already have it here, I can just click on it, click on the one that I want to accept it, right click, adjustments, and now from here, synchronize it. So now that I synchronize it, whatever blue here, that's the host, it's going to apply it to any of the other images that I've selected. So if I had one image or 1,000 images, I'm able to add it to all of them. And once I add it to them, again, it's your job to do quality control, is to go back and make sure that whatever you do or whatever you apply, whenever you apply a template or a change, go back, look at it, and make sure it's exactly what you want. Look at this. I mean, look how fast that was. And again, the joy I got out of it was creating the template. Once it's done, doing it over and over and over and over again, do the exact same thing, starts to get boring. That's where the templates come into play, and I can apply it to all of them. All right? Now, let me stop sharing my screen. All right, how do you guys use templates, Wayne? Or how do you use...
I'm I'm kind of the wrong guy to ask that one because I like to just do my own thing on my photos. I've never been much for templates in any program that I've used.
Okay, that's fine.
So
So
I do probably want
you
to-
start. In fact, were you the one who was telling me you like to use it as a plugin, or to use it as standalone? Luminar.
I use it as standalone, but I do on occasion use some other tools or programs to do some finishing touches.
Gotcha. And Malcolm, who was with us earlier, do you remember Malcolm did, or it was Charles? I'm sorry, Charles. I wasn't able to join us today. He did that incredible still life images. He put a ton of time and energy into creating a still life shot each day, and they were just absolutely amazing. Brought them in, did some really cool Luminar edits to them, and then made a complete series based on them, and they all look similar. So that's a perfect consistency if you were to do like a gallery showing, right?
Sure. And I did download a couple of photos over here that I've done on Luminar. I can't show you how I did them, but if you would like to see them, I can throw them up there.
Gotcha. Yep. Say that one more time.
Okay, I downloaded a couple of photos to the tablet here that I did on Luminar. I can't show you what I did or how I did it, but if you would like to see them, I can throw
Yep.
them
Yeah,
up.
let's see.
Let's see if I can do this.
And while you're doing that, Kirk brought out a good point, and he said one thing he finds a bit frustrating is when he notices there's a slight lag when we're showing different templates, and again that's obviously because of the internet. Yes, if you look up on the top left, you'll see the logo of Luminar. When that's illuminating blue, that means it's processing it. When it stops, it means it's done.
All right.
All right. Did Wayne get it?
No,
So
everything's fighting with me today.
No problem. All right, let me go on to Mo. So Mo,
Okay.
Go on.
Well, one thing, I'm on my laptop right now, but Luminar is on my desktop.
No
but
problem.
What I did do though is I went to, let's see if I can get it now. Nope. I went to the, let's see if I can get it. No, I can't. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is one that I did. I used the textures, and I love the textures. And then I did the frame, like you showed us. And I'm just starting to use the textures to do that. So this is two textures. I did the skier or the surfer, and then I did like did texture over the whole thing, and then I did another texture to do the frame. And I'm
Awesome.
loving what you're teaching us.
All right, I'll show that in a moment. And we thank Richard Harrington for these texture overlays. He spent a weekend just tearing up paper.
Oh, they're
and
wonderful.
made these really cool textures that we could apply. Awesome. Well, you know what? Now that you brought that up, let me share my screen. And
Well, you know, Vanelli, years
Yep.
ago, I used to have all kinds of frames when I did weddings and stuff. So I've moved them all into textures.
oh, sweet. All right, let's see. And let's see if I have my textures down here. Instant. No, I'm going to use one of these instant ones. And I'll use this one here because I love this image. I wish I took it. I mean, it inspired me to want to go out and photograph this. I mean, I just see this as a beautiful engagement, you know, or even like for an anniversary. I just think it looks really, really cool. Let's just add a little more to it. All right. So with this right here, let's come over to edit. Now it's already processed. So what we want to do is come over here. And this is one of the new features of the local masking. And we've asked for a way to add signatures. Somebody was asking, can we add signatures to our images? Yes, I'll show you how to add a digital watermark to this. But for here, I want to load a texture. And here's a quick tip. Wherever you put your images, wherever your images are stored, I store them in one location under photography. Inside that folder, there's a subfolder called underscore assets. Now I do that because now any of the clouds or the skies I've downloaded or created, any of the texture overlays, any of the LUTs that I've worked with, I put them in this subfolder so I know exactly where they are and I don't have to go hunting all over the place for it. All right, so let me come over here to, we did say textures, and I'm on Windows, so I'm going to change the view to extra large icons just so I can see them. And let's pick some of these. I want to pick, let's pick this frame one. And I open it. Now, when I add it, here's the opacity. I can change the opacity to 100%. And in doing that, I can actually see where it's adding it. Now, when I click on place, notice it's bigger than the image itself. If I drag from the middle, then it's not proportional. If I drag from the corners, now it is proportional. In this case, I had to drag it the way I did just so I can make it proportional. I'm sorry, not proportional, to fit the frame. All right, so I have it set. Now I'm looking at this frame. It's not my favorite, so I'm going to load another texture. And I'm trying to find one of my favorite ones. We'll use this one. Now, again, this is a PNG, so that's something new that was added. A PNG is going to allow us to have transparent backgrounds. And by having a transparent background, I'm able to bring it in and it'll take on that transparency. So whatever is transparent will shine through. Whatever isn't is here. Now, did you notice I did something there, Wayne? By already changing that first template, or I'm sorry, the first texture, when I brought in a new one, did you notice how it stayed in the same proportion?
Yep.
All right, good. So now I have a different frame here. I can change the opacity if I want. Come down here, let's say add brightness to the frame, more contrast. Now I have a frame within a frame. So I'm using the actual photo on the outside to get the light, or if I want to take it to 100%, boom, I have it set there. Now, we joked about this, which we thought was funny. I've seen these for so long. Let me stop sharing my screen. And I write a lot of poetry. And it's funny, I dedicated this to my mom, this one here. This right here, if you notice it, the jaggediness, that is one of the textures. So, and back then, I think it was Corel. I paid like $200 and something, close to $300, to have a whole bunch of these frames, digital frames, because they were the biggest things back then. And that must have been at least almost 18 years ago. And it's neat to see that the pendulum is swinging back again. So let me share the screen one more time. There we go. So once again, before and after, and we can actually add, which is really neat, another texture on top of that. So you're not limited to just one. I can load another texture. This time, let's add like this right here. And we'll give it more like a distressed look. Oh, look at that, good. So now watch this. This is what it really looks like. if we use overlays for the blend, look at that. We can add some really cool, look at that, some interesting effect. Give it a little distressed look. Dial back the opacity a bit, just to where it's there, but not too much. There it is. Here's before. Here's after. Oh, there we have it. All right. All right. Let me answer a real quick question here. James asks, how does he find ways to attend the daily coffee breaks? If you go to insider.skylum.com, insiders.skylum.com, you'll see under the events, you'll see the Luminar coffee breaks, and that's if you want the interactive ones. Or if you go to the Skylum channel on YouTube, you can subscribe to the Luminar coffee breaks, which are on at 5 o'clock. So the insiders are on at 1 p.m. Eastern, other ones on at 5. And Kurt, I hope I changed it. I slowed down a little bit for you so you can see the changes. All right. And let's see. Yeah, some of the templates available. If you go to the Luminar Marketplace, or Skylum Marketplace, go to the Skylum Marketplace, and you'll see we have some free LUTs. There's templates there. There's textures and so on. Rich Harrington went out of his way to create a bunch of these textures to give away to everyone. So you can check them out there.
Yeah, I've been using those.
Yeah, no, and it's neat because, so if those are the, let me know in the chat, are you part of the Insiders program? And it's free if you own Luminar AI. You go to the Insiders program, it's what Facebook used to be, where people come together and there's no politics, there's no bickering back and forth, a bunch of like-minded people just sharing their love for photography, and most importantly, you're networking.
And you're learning,
right? If you need information on new cameras, or if you're heading down a certain path of your photography journey, maybe somebody can give you advice on what they did, in those areas to make them better. All right. So awesome. Now, so Vince asked if there were layers in masking in AI and how to use them. So Vince, what I just showed was not layers, there were textures. And with textures, you have overlays. So you're able to stack them on top of each other. Now, I don't want to call them layers because layers do something totally different. With what we just did, you can stack these on top of each other, and then what ends up happening is you can save it as a texture, as a template, and now all those textures you saw me stacking on top of each other can be applied to another image without having to reload all of them. All right, good. Yes, okay, and Rich says he has a number of Luminar. Can he uninstall them without messing up the new version? And actually, Wayne, this is your expertise. You and I have talked about this before. If you have too many Luminars on your machine, keep in mind, and if you're trying to open up the same catalog, but using a previous version, well, the new version has new enhancements to it. So when it opens up a catalog, it applies certain things to that catalog. Well, if you use an old version and it tries to open up that catalog, you could corrupt it. So the best thing to do is stick to the one. And for the other ones, you don't have to erase them if you don't want to. Just put an underscore, maybe old, or something in front of it. Now you know that's not the one to open. Hope that answered it. All right. Now, let's do this. Thomas, what's one of your favorite coffee breaks? And I'll ask each of you, because I'll demonstrate one of your favorite coffee breaks, or something that you've learned in a coffee break that I can demo and show others, so they can gain the insight too.
That's a hard question because I joined so many coffee breaks, and in every coffee break we learn such different things. So it's hard to say. But for me right now, I think the new sky is actually one of the best coffee breaks I've had, because yeah, you can see the reflections on the water and so on.
And of course, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Angela do that coffee break? so so thank you, Thomas. No,
You're welcome.
I actually did it for her yesterday. So let me share my screen. So just for the rest of you, this is what we deal with when it's interactive like this on the coffee breaks. This is what we deal with. So they'll chime in every so often. Let me go to my catalog and let's see. Here's skies. And let me see if I have Angela's skies here.
Yeah, down.
Which
Under.
yes, fire away. All right, so I know I had Angela's skies in here. Oh, there we are, Angela's skies. All right, so let's use this. Now, Angela went out and shot these the other day. So this here, in fact, I'm going to delete this just for the sake of showing you what we did. So she went out and she used her iPhone or her smartphone and she shot this image here. I'm going to adjust it and revert to the original. All right. So that was the original image she took. In fact, let me make sure. There it is. So here it is. Here's the original image she took. It was her iPhone. Now, for those of you that want to learn how to photograph your own skies, come over here to the help menu and click on user guide. Once you click on the user guide, see it open up in a different window. Here it is. I'm trying to hide. Oh, one more time. There we go. All right. You're able to see my screen, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So here's sky replacement. Now, my suggestion is download this as a PDF, put it on your phone. So now that you have it on your phone or your tablet, when you're out in the field and you're actually out there photographing, if you have questions, you just look down at the paper and there's your answers. So here are the requirements to take your own sky photos, and here are some of the best practices. So you get used to this here, and it'll also show you some things to avoid. So once you follow that step and you got your clouds looking the way you want, now if you come over here, the main thing you have to do is get rid of this bottom here. You want a clean horizon line, all right? So I'm going to start out with cropping, and I want to use free ratio. Now, I'm going to come in. Angela mentioned she cropped it right about here, and then used the clone and stamp tool to get rid of the rest of that. Not that I'm being lazy, but I'm going to crop it all the way up so I don't have to do that. And now we have the sky, again, from a smartphone, we have the sky itself, but you know that if you shoot this with a smartphone, when I zoom in at 200%, look at all that digital noise. So let's use the noise, and we're going to clean that up right away. Good. Look at that. That did a great job cleaning up that digital noise, and make sure that when you're zoomed in zoomed in to at least 200%, so you can actually see the effect that it's having. If it's like this, you're not able to see what it's doing. Once you have it set, one of my absolute favorite tools, the Accent AI. This tool right here will help me improve the color, detail, tone, and depth. And as for the sky enhancer, just a touch. All right, so just for the sake of simplicity, I mean, I can go through and do more stuff to it. This is a decent looking sky, before and after. Now, here's the catch. You can only see the changes if you're inside Luminar. Because think of it this way, Luminar is like a database. It's storing into that database all the changes you're making to this image. It's not applying it. It's just telling you, hey, when you open up this image, these are all the changes Vanelli made to it. Quickly put it on this image. Done. Now, if I want those changes to be permanent, not on the original image, but on a copy of this image, I need to export it. So I'm going to export it, save it to disk, and I'm going to give it a new name. Final, edited, whatever you want it to be, but there's a new name. I'm going to browse, and here's Angela's Skies. I created a subfolder inside of it. I'm going to double click on that subfolder, and I'm going to save that new edit in that subfolder. So now once I export it, it's going to take all the changes we made, apply it to the new image, and it's going to tuck it away into that subfolder. Now, the reason why I put it in a subfolder underneath the original is so Luminar will find it and will know exactly where it is. So I'm coming to catalog. So here we are with her skies, and there it is. So notice I didn't have to do anything special. Like in Lightroom, for example, had I have done that in Lightroom, I would end up having to go back and resynchronize that folder because Lightroom had no idea that I added something to it. All right. And actually, you know what we could do while I'm showing this next one? If Wayne, are you able to post in the chat?
Yes.
Okay. Could you, for Jim and for the rest of them, can you put the coffee break link from Luminar or from the insiders into that chat for us?
I can.
You can? Great.
Yes, I
All
will.
right. So now that I have that set, let's look at some replacement skies. Let's see.
You know, Vanelli, I wanted to mention one thing.
Yep, fire away.
You talked about the signatures, and I used to have to go back and forth to Photoshop and get my signature because I have it as a pen. But now, since I'm doing it the way you're doing it, I'm able to do it without changing back and forth the programs.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for reminding me because I do have to show that. Now, I just had, oh, here we are, one of my albums. Sky replacement, there we are. All right, so this image here, let's take it and adjust, revert to the original. All right, so here's the original image. Now, look at this. In the past, if you ever had to replace the sky and put a sky into this, you'd end up with a hair like mine because it was so complicated. Why are you guys laughing? Anyways, so it's important to note that the technology of this, it's mind-boggling. So if it gets you 99% there, and there's one power line that you're struggling with, count your blessings, because again, it's going to get you so much closer than what you could have done on your own. So I'm going to come over here to edit, and I'm going to apply sky. Now the new sky tool in this version, absolutely amazing. They've changed several things to make it more user-friendly. Now that when you click on sky selection, a drop-down appears. You're able to actually see what the clouds are going to look like. And if you want at the very, very end, or you can separate them in the categories, but at the very end, when you click on this plus icon, it's going to allow you to go out, select sky, which was the one we just did. We'll use this one. And when I add it, oh, it's already there. That's fine, I'll replace it. So now I just added a new sky right to my folder.
That's
So
beautiful.
if I want to come back again and have that same sky, it's automatically there. If you click on the download more, it'll take you off to the Skyla Marketplace where you can find more skies. If I come over here and I want to show my custom skies, now it shows me a folder of where all my custom skies are located. And let me rephrase that. All the skies I want Luminar to see. So I want to make sure I have that straight. Mine are located tucked away nice and neat in my assets folder.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. So here's my assets. Look at all these skies I have. I don't want to. Do you remember when Windows first added fonts to your machine? I was one of those people that added 1,000 fonts to my Windows machine and then wondered why Windows was going so slow. Same concept here. You don't want to add more than 50 of your own custom skies. So you can swap them back and forth, but let's say like stars, for example. I'll copy this. And now, because I know where that folder is, I can paste it. And I'm going to do, oh, it was already there. I can paste it into this folder. And now I added that to this. If I don't want one of these in here, since it's a copy, just select it, hit delete. And now when I come back over here and I look for my own custom skies, it's no longer in that list. All right. So this new update 2 gave us the ability to add our custom skies more efficiently. And then it also, not only did it help us do that, but it helped us organize them to where now we know exactly where our favorite skies are. All right. Good. Okay. Jim says, when you add to your folder, do you need to restart Luminar? The answer should be no. Sometimes, like I'll go out of the tool and then come back into the tool and then they appear. So sometimes it's a little finicky on us on that. All right. But this was Angela's sky. I mean, how cool is that? We added a California sky. I believe this is New York. To a New York landscape. I hope that's New York.
Yeah, that's New York.
Okay, good. So, but I mean, but all of this, look at this intricacy, how it's so incredible that it brings it in and just adds it. That's just mind-boggling. All right. So there we have that. Now, and let me do one more thing while we're here. You know what? I'll do it on this image here. Edit, only because I forgot to show you, and thanks for reminding me, Mo, is we're going to come back over to here, and I want to add my own signature to it. Now, if you load a PNG, like we said earlier, a PNG is going to give you a transparent background, and those are the easiest ones to add. So here's a PNG. I select it, open it. Now, chances are it's going to be too big, so we'll have to scale it down to size. Let it come in, and notice up here, again, that's moving. When that stops, now I know it's on my, or I know it's done processing. I want to place the texture. Remember, scale from the corners to make it proportional. I can move it right into place. And I press enter to lock into place. Now I have control over the opacity.
Yeah.
So I can bring that out to 100%. And I can even further make it better by controlling the contrast here or even the brightness. See the difference? I'll do before. Well, let's give it a couple seconds. And that right there just makes it look a little richer. So, but look how easy that was to add that. I'm going to delete this for now. All right. So if it's a ping, it's real easy. However, if it's a JPEG and you think it's a ping, but it has a solid background, it can still be a ping, but without the transparency. There's a little extra step we have to take. So let me come to coffee break. And do I have signatures in here? All right, nope. So let me go down here to grab my signature. So the Vanelli bio. And here's my signature. All right, so here we go. Here's white on black, and then here's black on white. So or white rather. I'm sorry. Oh, that's a PNG, so we don't want to mess with that. Here it is, black on white. Let me grab that one.
Vice versa.
Yep. So let's bring it in. And now I'm going to change the opacity just so you can see what's happening really. So that's what it really looks like. Place it. And this is what happened the first time I saw this. I was like, what the heck? And then I realized I didn't have a ping. So there it is. Now, I'm sorry, but that doesn't look great. So this is where those blend modes come in. From here, the very first word up in here, darken, means that the rest of these are going to deal with it making it darker. Lightens the first word. That means that the next ones are going to change the brightness of it. Same thing with the overlays and all the way through. So here, look what Screen did. Screen got rid of the black and just showed the white. And this is where you have to play very delicate with it. In fact, let me zoom in so you can see it. I apologize. There it is. And there's my signature. Now it's added. And again, if I didn't change the Blair blend mode, I'm stuck with an ugly black or ugly white box. So that's one way if you don't have a ping. So if you don't have a ping, that's one way of adding it in there. Thanks, Mo, for reminding me to show that.
Yeah, I'm using it all the time now.
Yeah, well, and here's what's neat about this too, is, okay, so let's say you're doing something for an art gallery or for a camera club, or you just want to add your logo or your signature to 30 images. Instead of adding them individually, what you could do is process your images the way you want, export them out to the final product. Now they're done. Remember, they're in that folder. Let's say it's called Need Signature. Well, bring that folder inside Luminar, add the signature to one image, and then batch process like we did earlier. From here, I have it right here. Right click, adjustments, copy. Now, here's the thing. Notice this is not the same dimension. And same thing with this one. I'll paste it. It may not come out perfect. But actually, you know what it's going to do? I just realized. So here's the thing. Make sure when you do this, let's see how it added it. That was great. But it also added all of my changes to this particular image. So what you need to do, one thing I skipped, was start with a blank image that's nothing on it. Add the signature. Now the only change you made to that image is the signature. Now add that to the rest of them. All right.
Yeah. Or you can choose the template and your signature when you get
Oh,
the
yes.
gallery.
Exactly.
That's what I do when I'm out in the field and I shoot 200 or 300 photos. So I choose one template, collect to the others, and bring also my signature in it.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Now, did you make your own signature, or did you do what a lot of people do, hire others to do it?
I'm still waiting for my signature. I hired a company, but they sent me the first try, and I say, that's too easy. Yeah, black and white.
Do another one. Great.
You have another try.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. And I should have been a little bit clearer when I wanted you guys to actually show some of your stuff. So I apologize. The next time we do this, I'll get you guys back in and we'll show off some of your stuff. And again, if you want to check out these guys on Insiders. So if you go to the insider.skylum.com, let me see if I can put that in the chat.
I think you will
Yeah, I
find
got that.
the groups as well.
Yeah, you
mobile
definitely
photography,
meet the people
street,
inside there.
and whatever.
And Wayne will definitely comment on anything that you post. He's staying at that number one spot.
You got 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds for me to throw my screen up. I finally got things moving here.
Oh, yep. We have exactly 2 minutes.
That's enough for Wayne.
Yep. Good. Well, that Michael said he found somebody on Fiverr to make his signature very affordable. And yes, Mark, I'm hoping that it can be done globally. That would be so much easier. All right, did you share your screen yet?
Trying. Seems to think I have.
Yeah, but maybe you got the same problem as I did.
Ah, here we go.
Security problems.
We still see you.
Still see me.
Yeah. So if you click on the green share screen, and then
I did that.
But
It
maybe
seems to think I'm doing
he has
something.
the same problems as I
yeah.
did.
You know what I'm wondering, Wayne? And I apologize. It may be that you don't have that level of clearance.
I hate when that happens.
All right, guys. Well, we're out of time, and Rich Harrington is going to be coming up next with Kevin LaRue in about 7 minutes. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to bomb through some of these questions that you were asking in the chat here. So forgive me if I go backwards all the way up through. Vince says he had a problem with the erase tool. If he wants to go back 1 or 2 steps, you have to in other words, with the erase tool, I see where you're heading with this. He's asking, is there a way to undo multiple erases? My suggestion, when you're using the erase tool, do it in short spurts, short increments. Don't try to erase everything, because what's happening is the erase tool is looking for parts of the image that look similar to what you're erasing, and it's going to replace it with that. But if you have all these erase tools everywhere, it's going to go to one and go, can't do that because he's trying to do this. Do short spurts of it, and then if you make a mistake, Control or Command Z takes you back 1 step, and then you continue on from there.